Hi, my name is James Pitt. I have to make a lot of videos for my work. I'm an actor, and we have to do self-submissions all the time. And, I have to send auditions for different reads and things all across the world. Uh, but I rarely do YouTube videos. But I have to share this with you. This won't mean anything to you if you're not into air guns or guns in general, but particularly PCP air guns, pre-charged pneumatic air guns. Don't laugh at my old sling here. I had to kind of make do with what I had, but I have to tell you what I've done here. So, if you guys are into PCPs, you know what a Benjamin Marauder is. Velocity Outdoors, which owns Crossman, which owns Benjamin, makes a gun called the Benjamin Marauder PCP air gun. It's a bolt action rifle, 177 through 25 caliber. Ubiquitous gun, been around a long time, very, very solid, super consistent. Worst thing about it is two worst things about it. It's got a little bit of a ping to it that everybody knows about, but it's also pretty damn heavy. So I have a specific purpose for needing an air gun where I live. It's a 22 caliber Benjamin Marauder, but I needed it at times when I'm moving and on my feet, and I can't, I'm not. It's fine if you got a heavy air gun and you're on a bench, and you're going for 1-inch groups. And listen, I love doing that, but when you have pests and varmint that you have to deal with, you need to be able to move, and you need to be able to be accurate for humane kills and stuff. So I really wanted to take this Benjamin Marauder and put it in a Bullpup configuration, because I don't know if a lot of you guys that are into the long guns have ever held a Bullpup configured rifle. I'm 56 years old, man. I grew up with long guns, Remington 1100, even the Ruger 1022, Winchester lever actions. They're ubiquitous, tried and true, good guns to have, but it's always way out here. And I know that most of you guys know that any kind of gun, even a Ruger, a little 1022, after a while will start to kind of get heavy, because all that metal is out forward here. I mean, this is literally where you are. You've got the buttstock up here, and there's no weight here, and all of the receiver, the breech block, that heavy steel barrel, basically the clip or the magazine, all of this is stored up here, and your pump action, if it's a pump action, shotgun or whatever, it's all up here. So the British created, most of you guys know this, but the British created this Bullpup design, I think basically back as far as like maybe the 20s. But it started to get more and more popular with tactical applications, because you're taking all that steel and you're putting it right here. And this thing is just a lot easier to manage. A rifle is, if all the steel is back here. Now the problem is your trigger mechanism has to be here, because we're not like T-Rexes. We can't do our triggers back up in here. So we need to have our trigger up in here. But the Bullpup configuration does that. There's usually some type of trigger linkage up in here where our hands naturally need to be, but it routes back here to where the mechanism and the firing mechanism and all of that is. It's a brilliant design, and with air guns, it's extremely effective. It's also becoming more and more popular. I do not understand why Benjamin and Velocity and Crossman aren't selling what I think is their best-selling PCP air gun in a Bullpup configuration. The 22, the Benjamin Marauder, probably 177 and 22, which probably 25s also, but I doubt they're quite as high volume. But they don't have a 22 caliber Bullpup. They just don't. But they do have a 357 Bulldog, and they sell the parts for it online, and they're cheap. I looked at getting Bullpup configuration conversion kit, and there's one that I could find here domestically, but it's $500, and you know, that didn't sit right with me. You know, that just seemed like too much. You know, and look, it was too much for me. There are things that I can do to be a good steward of my money that help me to be creative. And listen, so the company, I think Velocity and Crossman and Benjamin are just the best company ever. I do. I've learned a lot about PCP air guns in particular, air guns in general, and PCPs in particular recently. And yeah, there are plenty of other companies that you can get guns from. I don't like to run anybody down, but I mean, so I won't specifically, but companies in Turkey and you know, a lot of Asian companies and products that, you know, they're fine. But I'm proud of my country, and I think we do things better than anybody ever, and that's the reason everybody wants to knock off our stuff. So we do things really, really well here, and I'm proud of Benjamin for making such an incredible piece of equipment. And this is actually a bit of an appeal to them, because I think so the Bullpup configuration I know is becoming very, very popular, and I know at SHOT Show and a lot of the conventions that the Bullpup is just, everybody's bringing one out. So they have this 357 Bulldog. 357 is a high caliber, big bore air gun. It shoots about a 9mm slug. It's pretty cool, man, and it's got a big old barrel on it and all that, and it's got a sideways cock and handle, which is really, really cool. And you can find plenty of videos on it. It's a good gun. It's a humane killer, and that's what we need. Love it, but it's not the most it's not the most attractive gun. Not that that's what it's always about, right? But anyway, that's kind of an aside. But so I got the eyeball in this thing, and I was thinking, you know, I wish they just offer it in at least a couple calibers down, and they don't. And I just got the eyeball in the thing, and I put a picture of the Marauder and the Bulldog side by side, one over the other, and you know, the footprint on that thing is just not that different. And so I went on Crossman. I called up the company and I asked them, you know, how you buy parts, and talked to this sweet lady, Miss Shinsing. Just a real nice lady, and everybody's nice there. You got to call them. I mean, Crossman's like, no, but I mean, you should. It's a damn good company. They're up there in New York, man. I just think it's so neat. But out in the middle of the country, I mean, just cool. But yeah, just ask them, you know, can I buy parts? And they're like, yeah, what do you want? And you know, they boss you around a little bit and tell you to go to the gun on the website, and then you click on the gun, and then you click on the downloads, and they'll show you an expanded diagram of the gun. So I did that, and I looked at all the parts that they had, and I ordered the parts, and the parts are inexpensive. They're not trying to kill you on the parts. So let me show you what I've done. This is my Marauder. This is a Benjamin Marauder. Now, I've done a lot of fabricating on this. It's kind of a thing for me. I like doing this kind of work. I've got a pretty high stress job. I'm an actor, and this will keep you from going crazy, you know, working with your hands, which I do a lot here. But let me kind of point out to you some of the things that I've done. I'm going to have to take it apart to show you the inner workings, because you have to move. So the trigger mechanism for this gun is actually back here, and on most Bullpups it is. Even on the 357 Bulldog, which is what they call it. That's not what this is. It's just a nameplate. But the actual trigger mechanism is here. But there's a well, I would say in engineering terms, the entire trigger mechanism is from here to here, but the breech and the trigger that what we would think of as a trigger is here. There's just a big extension that goes all the way back here. Now, to get it to step down and change not change direction in this case, you have to do some pretty advanced stuff, but it's doable. And I had to shorten this whole thing. This is actually quite a bit shorter. I cut it and I welded it. The plastic welded it. I don't know if you know about that, but it's a great skill to learn. I opened this up. I put the band here. I cut this here. I cut this to, I believe, 18 inches, if I remember right, which is the distance between the breech and the barrel band here. And then, of course, I sort of copied the contour here. Actually made this a little bit longer because I just like the difference aesthetically there. I used so this is the dovetail. This is just a Gen 2 Marauder. I put a riser here, a pick rail riser, forward of the magazine slot, the firing pin and all that. It's not a firing pin technically. And I'll have to get into it in much more detail with you, but I have joined these two together. So there's great stability here, and this thing is dead ass accurate. That was one great concern I had, and it's just very reliable. Shoots shot after shot after shot after shot where I put it, and it's so easy. Look at this. Can you do this with your Marauder? It's easy. It's like a pistol. I could shoot this like a pistol. It's a lot more comfortable like this because this is a heavy gun, man. But they've done all the engineering here, and I don't know. They're probably going to hate me for doing this video. I don't know. But it's a doable thing, man. And yeah, they're either going to love it and do something. This is an appeal to them to make this gun because they should. Because they've got the best engineering in the world. They got the best damn gun in the world. And we need this gun. You guys have already got this put together. It's already in your factory. Couple of whiz kid mathematicians, engineers that I know you have on staff there could probably reconfigure this stuff in an afternoon to make something like this. I don't want to see the other manufacturers kick your ass with Bullpups in 22 and 177, and they're flying off the shelf for those guys. This gun needs to be made. It's a great, great gun. It feels so good. It's great to shoot. And you guys have the tooling is done. It's done. I mean, there would be some minor things you guys would have to do, but it's a great gun. I'm going to take it apart and show you the insides, and I'll shoot it for you. But thank you, Benjamin, for making this possible for me. I may have the only one in existence forever. Maybe you guys don't like us doing this kind of stuff, but thank you, for making it available for us. It's a good gun. Benjamin Marauder, 22 caliber Bullpup. Thanks, guys.